The Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Bill 2019, Sri Tiruchi Sivaji.
You want to speak?
What is it? Tell me.
No, he has given his name to speak, that's what he says.
The name has not come. Let it come, I will invite. पहले दे सकते हैं I can Sri Tiruchi Siva.
One second.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir. So this is a very important occasion. When we are celebrating the completion of 70th year of adopting the Constitution, sir, this House is debating on very important issues. We are lawmakers. We legislate laws to resolve the issues that are prevailing in the society. Sir, especially with regard to this transgender bill, as I said, I am very proud to speak on this because I belong to a progressive party which has always fought for the downtrodden, the suppressed and the oppressed classes. Social Reformation Party, the DMK. And based on that only, I moved a private member bill here in this August House in the year 2014, and which was passed unanimously and was sent to the Lok Sabha. And what prompted me to bring that bill was a question that was posed to me by many. Sir, first ever in the country, it was only in Tamil Nadu, when DMK was the ruling party and our leader, Dr. Kalaignar, was the chief minister. He constituted a welfare board for the transgenders, and later the Kerala, West Bengal and many other states, Maharashtra and all. And I thought that a law in place for the welfare of the transgender community across the country would serve the purpose, because the states may constitute a welfare board, but those states who do not constitute a welfare board or any welfare measures for those community, what could be done? Only by way of a law from the parliament. So I moved the bill, and before that, I should say that the Nalsa judgment, Supreme Court judgment, the case between the Nalsa and Union of India, it was a historic judgment the Supreme Court gave, and the whole community in India were jubilant after the judgment came, and my bill was in conformity with the judgment of the Supreme Court. So my bill was also held by the community. So this is a short story behind the bill, sir. What is the purpose actually? Sir, in our society, the transgender community are being ridiculed or being abused and are sidelined in public places like theatres, malls, hospitals, bus stands, railway stations, and everywhere. And Justice Radhakrishnan, who gave the judgment in the Nalsa case, the Supreme Court judge, is very clearly observed. This sort of treating them as untouchables by the society, they are conveniently forgetting the fact that the moral failure is with the society who refuse to adopt and embrace gender identities and expressions, the mindset which we have to change. This is the observation of the Supreme Court judge. Sir, they are also human. They are also living among us. And when they are treated otherwise by the family or by the society, only the government has to come to the protection by way of a law. And this bill, which has been passed in the Lok Sabha, does not serve the purpose. That is our contention. When my bill went to the Lok Sabha, my surprise is, sir, my private member bill was passed unanimously in the House, and the BJP party which supported me here opposed that bill. Rather, they stalemated the bill. They killed my bill and brought one on the government. I let the credit go to them. I don't wish that it should come to me only. I want the issue to be resolved. I want the community should be done some welfare. They should be uplifted. They should also be treated equally. So they might have thought that if the private member bill is passed, the credit may come to me, but I'm not for it. It was only kickstart. See, our mentor, Thandai Periyar, used to say, I am involved in this cause not because I am the only person. Since no one has come forward, I am doing this. So also it was a kickstart program. I just sensitized the government. So instead of accepting my bill and getting it passed in the Lok Sabha, that would have become an act. Why not a private member bill become an act? Sir, in Canada, there are 249 private member bills that have become act. In Britain, 19 bills have become act. But in India, only 7 bills earlier to me, and mine was passed after 45 years, 1970. And as the bill gone through in the Lok Sabha, a smooth passage that would have given a good name to the government as well as a record in the parliament, Indian parliament, how private member legislations are being regarded and recognized. That is a concern I raised during the debate in the 250th sessions of our Rajya Sabha, that the private member legislation day is not considered to be a very important one. It falls on a Friday, and members want to go back on Fridays. So most of the days the house is empty. So the private member legislation carries equal importance as that of the government. What is private member legislation? An issue which has not reached the government's knowledge. Even if it is reached, if they are not intended to do something. Even if they are intended, if they do not have time, the member has got the equal right and opportunity to do the same. So bringing a bill here is not an easy thing. How we draft that? How much labor we put into it? What researches we do? So it is not any member who might have introduced a private member bill or that have been debated. That has been done with lot of hard work, sir. So our legislation, or rather our attempt to bring in a bill should also be recognized. My bill was passed and that was not accepted there. And it was dragged on. The previous bill was debated for 9 sessions only to scuttle this. Later when my bill was taken, the debate started, and then the government said, we are going to bring a bill, okay. And after that bill was introduced in 2016 by the government, there was a very big opposition across the country from the transgender community. They said it is totally absurd. Because one of the definitions in that was transgender. Still there is a confusion among many of us, who is a transgender? And what the 2016 bill said about a transgender person was, neither a male nor a female. There is no more insult can be in fact inflicted upon a person like that. So many opposition came, say they withdrew the bill, and 2018 they brought in a bill. And many, sir, I have to mention here, most of the classes in this government's bill have been carved out from my bill. I am happy in that manner. Many may not know. Some of my colleagues who have been very thorough in this bill, they know that, as well as the government also knows. I appreciate that. So that means I have done a very good job. But they have not accepted some of the suggestions which I have made. And this bill also has invoked not good response from the community. Why, sir? When was this bill passed in the Lok Sabha? On the August 5th of 2019. When? Because that day was in Lok Sabha, the abrogation of Jammu and Kashmir special constitutional provision was passed. And with that, this is also passed with almost no debate. It's a very important bill which addresses the concerns and issues of a sidelined society, has not been debated in the Lok Sabha. It has already been sent to a standing committee, they would say. But what is the experience of the standing committee? One of the witnesses who have appeared before the standing committee said, sorry to say that, I have to quote what they have said, I saw only ignorance there. And the questions posed to us were much more humiliating than what we are facing in the society. This was their experience. And even after that, some of the recommendations which have been given by the standing committee have not been accepted by the government bill. Sir, for the past, I think nothing wrong to say. This is not my personal issue or anything that is going to serve me or my party in particular. This is for a community who are also a part of our society, who are also paying tax, and who also have the right to enjoy all the privileges and rights which we have. They also do, but they do not. So I went and spoke with everyone. So a bill being scrutinized for twice or thrice is nothing wrong. When it has not been addressed or supposed to be addressed, the issues, why should not it be sent to a select? So they asked me, what are the concerns you have? But I should thank some of the ministers, like Finance Minister Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman, Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad, even the concerned Minister Mr. Gehlot, and Piyush Goyal, and Bhupender, and everyone, sir, I went and explained as if I'm a part of the community. I don't feel sorry for saying that. If anyone is undergoing a suffering, how he would plead for his relief, I went and pleaded with everyone. Nothing else. Either bring in some amendments or send it to a select committee. A select committee will scrutinize the bill again, matter of 2 months. In the next session, they are going to bring in. Why don't you send that? I was pleading nothing else. The surrogacy bill, no one pursued except my amendment was here. Even without that, it was sent to the select committee. Of course, it has to be sent because that is a contentious bill, that is different. When you sent a surrogacy bill without much pressure, why don't you send this bill to the select committee? That was my simple request to the government. Because the scrutiny by the select committee and some more witnesses who are outside agitating. Sir, when the NMC, National Medical Commission bill was passed in this house, there was a very big agitation across the country. Some 2 lakh doctors were on road, but they passed the bill here. So also now the transgender community is on the roads. In various other states, in Delhi, for the past 2 days, they are agitating. They are picketing. They are demonstrating. Everything is happening, but you don't take into effect. In the last session, sir, 35 bills were passed. If you see the time, per 8 hours, a bill has been passed. Nothing has been referred to any committee for scrutiny. Leave alone that. Why this bill? When you send surrogacy without much pressure to the select committee, why don't you send this bill is my request. Even now I am telling you. Just counting the number of bills that has been passed in the House by a government is not a credit. The bill that has been passed and becomes an act should serve the purpose, should address the issues, should be a very big protection to the people who are suffering. Instead of that, just passing a law and adding to the numbers will not serve the purpose. So I pleaded with everyone with request. They did all, but nothing happened. Even this afternoon I asked, is there any progress in this? Or is the government going to bring any amendment? They said, how could it be? Yes, by supplementary amendment, the government could. Very small amendments. One of my amendments, if accepted, and if 2 amendments from the government said would have come, it was serve the purpose. But so far, nothing has been the outcome. So, sir, we are very pained, we are with anguish and agony, I'm standing here. Why? Why all the members supported? Across the party lines, they supported. They spoke even in this debate. And now also we don't say anything. I even explained. Sending to a select committee is that of a review petition after a Supreme Court judgment. It ends there. So also after the select committee, if the report comes, whatever you do, we are going to support. Nobody is going to do anything more than that. Why don't you yield for just 2 months or 6 weeks at least, as my friend Derek said, 6 weeks at least, till the next session, send it to a select committee, let it scrutinize, let the people come here, pour out what all they have, you listen to them. A slow and steady legislation will not do any harm. What is for the second chamber? It's only a cushion, not for hasty legislations. So, sir, why I am urging it to be sent to select committee? What are the lack or setbacks I feel in this? There are many things which I don't want to go in detail. One of the major things, sir, the transgender community, they have called this bill, it's not my word, they say it is regressive. It is half-hearted. Instead of addressing our problems, it is taking us back to the old days. So they say we need a comprehensive bill. Why I speak here, why we ask it to send it to select committee, what the other members have given in the form of amendments, a bill should be complete. It should be wholesome. It should be comprehensive. No, a bill means it's going to become a law. So what are the main issues? Especially the definitions. Clause 2 of any bill has the definitions, sir. If you just compare my bill and the government bill, you can find out the difference. There is no differentiation, definitions for discrimination in the government's bill. What is discrimination? My bill very clearly says, sir, I'll come to that. Before that, the main, discrimination means any distinction, exclusion, or restriction on the basis of gender identity and expression which has the purpose or effect of impairing or nullifying the recognition, enjoyment, or exercise on an equal basis with others of all human rights and fundamental freedoms in the political, economic, social, cultural, civil, or any other field, and includes all forms of discrimination. So there is no definition in the government bill for discrimination. It just says don't discriminate. Supposing a person is not allowed an entry in a temple, on what basis? In the basis of caste. So it should be person should not be discriminated on the basis of caste for an entry into a temple. Like that, on the basis of gender, there should not be any discrimination. No definition at all. And second is the major thing, the definition of the transgender. So if you permit me, I'll speak, sir.
I have given you
The
all of-
definition of the transgender. Again, the confusion comes, which I cannot disclose or in the course of my speech mention here about the transgender person, because the person who attended as a witness in the standing committee has said the same, the question posed. And that is in the records of the standing committee proceedings. But I cannot say that here. What is your biological something, all these questions. Very humiliating question. Sir, who is a transgender, sir? A person who is born as a male and who has a sense of feeling that the person is a female. That's all. And how will you define that? Maybe two persons, when they are talking or discussing, it can be nice. But when it is a law, it must be explicit. There should not be any ambiguity. So the gender, who is a transgender? The sense of gender a person is having does not match with the gender of the person at the time of birth, assigned to the person at the time of birth. But what the bill says, the gender of a person, if it does not match with the gender of a person assigned at the time of birth, the gender will not change automatically. A person will remain the same. Only the sense will change. So this is entirely not giving the actual meaning which is needed for. And second is, even the Supreme Court has said that they should have a right to determine what sex they belong, what gender they belong to. And Supreme Court has recognized them as a third gender. Earlier there was a screening committee in the 2016 bill. Now it is removed. They have to appear before a screening committee, undergo all tests and prove them. Even now, they have to apply to a DM, district magistrate, and after following such procedures, the DM will give a certificate. What are the such procedures? Before a doctor or before someone, they have to go and prove, I am so and so, I feel like that. Sir, this sort of humiliation should not be attributed to a human being in a republic country, in a democratic country which celebrates the 70th year of adopting the Constitution. It is totally an insult inflicted upon a human being who is to be considered an equal in our country. They claim that. See, most of the time they are agitated. Why? If they behave otherwise in the society, why? A person when humiliated, when insulted, anyone will retaliate. When they are hopeless, when they are supportless, the family disowns them, the society insults them, they don't have access to anywhere else, they have no education opportunity, no employment, what would they do? Yes, the reaction would be something else. You have to understand the mindset and the psychology and the reactions of a person, why it is due to. So they retaliate in that manner, and when they go for a certificate to declare, sir, I am a transgender, I need a passport, you say you have to undergo some test. What test it is? Who will be there? What questions will be posed? Again, I say, any human being, based on any reason, should not be humiliated or discriminated. And third, sir, to address their grievances, what are the remedies? The government has given an option. There will be a national council headed by the social welfare minister and 15 other persons from the ministry and 5 from the community and in rotation basis from the states. Sir, how could that be? The social welfare minister heaped upon with so many much of burden, would it sit often to hear the grievances of the transgender community? Where will they come? Give a complaint, sir, I have been insulted, I have been humiliated, I have been discriminated. So my suggestion, I have given an amendment, let it be a commission like that of a women's commission or scheduled caste, scheduled tribe commission, let it be a statutory commission.
Conclude.
They can, kindly permit.
Already I have given
Sir,
you.
what's the time, sir? A society is shouting and crying.
Yes.
Crying, sir. We are here to only
There was
debate.
no time, your party has already taken.
Please,
I have
please.
given 18 minutes, 19 minutes already. Please. Please go.
When I have sacrificed my bill, why don't you give me
No,
some
no,
time?
please conclude. So I have given 19 minutes, Mr.
Yes,
Siva,
please.
don't tell me. I have already given you. I have been more liberal.
The commission, if it is a commission like that of Women's Commission, my bill very clearly says, so kindly permit me to just point out that only. What is the purpose of the commission, or what would be the functioning of my commission? And then you will, sir, anyone, you will agree, through you, I would say the government, what is the National Council's functioning and my commission's function. The commission shall, for the purpose of discharging its functions under the Act, have all the powers of a civil court, trying a suit under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908, summoning and enforcing the attendance of witnesses and examining them on oath, discovery and production of any document, receiving evidence on affidavits, reinvesting of public record, issuing commissions, any other matter which may be prescribed. The commission may, while investigating a complaint, make written requests. These are all formalities. Every proceeding before the commission shall be deemed to be a judicial proceeding within the meaning of sections 193 and 228, and for the purpose of sections 196 of the Indian Penal Code 1860, and the commission shall be deemed to be a civil court for all the purpose of section 195 and chapter 26 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1970. Sir, this purpose, anyone would agree, a complaint, if it's given before the commission, like the Women's Commission or Scheduled Commission, immediately they will have the powers to investigate. What will the council do? Where will he come and give the complaint? He or she. So that council will be, Namki was there, but it won't serve the purpose. So if at all they want to address the issues of the community, there must be a commission in place. And third, sir,
Now
sexual abuse.
Conclude now.
Sexual abuse or rape on any woman is accountable for 7 years. But that won't be in accordance with the transgender. They say, we are also inside. If you go to the police station and give a complaint, you know how they treat us. They don't accept our complaint. They ask silly questions. They insult us much more. And they even attribute that you are a person like that. So if a law is there to protect them, sir, kindly please understand my sentiments and the pleadings and the argument which I am placing before you. If the same law applies to them, the word just include, they will also be in this. This will apply to them. That will also. So, sir, they very simple they are asking. And most of all, the Supreme Court has said that, very, very important, they should be treated educationally and socially backward, and reservations must be given to them in employment and education. Sir, my bill provided for 2% reservation. Minister, Honorable Minister, my esteemed senior, the leader of the House has told me how it is possible. Constitution is giving only 50%. That's the smallest misunderstanding, sir, I said. It is not a vertical reservation I asked for, it is a horizontal reservation.
Please now
Even
conclude.
in vertical reservation,
conclude, Mr. Siva.
when you are able to give 10% to the EWS by way of amending the Constitution,
Please conclude. I will invite other speakers now. Please conclude.
I am speaking for a community, sir.
Yes, I know, but you have taken 22 minutes I have given. The time has been over of your party. Please see. Please conclude now.
If you ask
I
me
know,
to
I
say
know your
please some
sentiments. I
more,
know
I
your
will be happy,
sentiments.
sir.
I know your sentiments. I know others also.
Let him
Please
conclude.
conclude.
Let him conclude, sir.
I'll conclude.
Let him
I will conclude.
Let him conclude.
I will conclude. So reservations, they said it is not possible. But recently you amended the Constitution and provided 10% for the EWS. That cannot be questioned because you have amended the Constitution. But my suggestion for reservation is not a vertical one. It doesn't say carve out from the Constitution as it provides. Let it be already existing reservation will be there. Out of that, this is vertical and horizontal, very simple variation, sir. So if you give them some reservation in education and employment, no one can deny that. When RTI came, the schools and educational institutions had to give access to poor students. Like that, sir, the reservation, the statutory commission in place, and the definition for transgender, definition for discrimination, and other things, as I mentioned here, sir, many other things. If they are addressed, this bill will be a comprehensive bill, and I would be the first person to support that. Sir, when my bill was supported here and was not supported there, they took another stand. I don't go into that. At least your bill, if it serves the purpose, again I say I would be the first person. So since it has not addressed, nothing wrong in sending it to a select committee. I don't say we disown the bill. It should not be. Let it be scrutinized once more. A parliament is meant for that only. The parliament is meant to discuss, to scrutinize bills, whether it's standing committee or select committee. One more scrutiny will serve the purpose and appease those people who are agitating. Please understand the sentiments of those people and send it to a select committee. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू मिस्टर शिवा। माननीय सदस्यगण, इस बिल पर बहस के लिए सिर्फ 17 मिनट बाकी थे। हम उस समय को काफ़ी पहले क्रॉस कर चुके हैं। कुछ और वक्ता है, मैं उनको इनवाइट करूंगा, स्वतः वो अपने समय का संयम इसका ध्यान रखें।
இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தா ப்ளீஸ் லைக் அண்ட் ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க. மறக்காம எங்க சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைபும் பண்ணுங்க.